Coming up on TCU Sports Now. One Horned Frog made headlines for his performance against Minnesota over the weekend. The lacrosse team welcomes their new coach. And we look at a career high for a sophomore Horned Frog that led the volleyball team to victory. From the Schieffer College of Communication, this is TCU Sports Now. Welcome back to another week of TCU Sports Now. I'm Maddie Brown.
And I'm Chloe Coleman.
Minnesota TCU, another bad moment for the Big Ten.
And that was TCU wide receiver Josh Doctson wowing the crowd with a one-handed catch on Saturday, blanketed by Minnesota defender Jalen Myrick, but he just couldn't handle the Flying Frog. The play made it all the way to the #1 spot on Saturday's edition of ESPN SportsCenter Top 10. Doctson had 2 touchdowns overall and 6 catches for 64 yards, leading the team along with quarterback Trevon Boykin. Let's hear what Doctson had to say after the game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You just got to make a play, and just he threw it kind of high, far inside, and just put a hand out there, a glove, and just kind of stuck. So it could have been anybody, So it was good though.
That Doctson catch was just one of many as TCU handed Minnesota their first loss of the season by a score of 30-7. The Horned Frog offense held the Gophers' attack at bay while forcing 5 turnovers. The Horned Frog offense was on full display in the 23-point win. Kicker Jaden Obercombe was perfect with 3 field goals, the longest being from 46 yards. The Frogs head into the bye week 2-0. Next weekend, the Frogs take on their DFW rival in the Battle of the Iron Skillet.
That's right, the Frogs will face Southern Methodist University at 11 a.m. on September 27th in Dallas. Coming up in a few minutes, Trog Keller takes us inside a unique opportunity for TCU students to get better tickets for football games. The men's club lacrosse team has a new coach. I went over to the intramural fields to see how the coach's initial off-season practices are going.
Let's go, let's go! Keep it hot, keep it hot!
The TCU lacrosse team will be under the leadership of Jeff Lohman this year, the team's new head coach.
Really enjoyed the game of lacrosse and wanted to give back to the guys, want to get back to the game.
Lohman played Division I lacrosse at St. John's University in New York City.
I think he can definitely relate to us being just a few years out of college and playing D1. He brings that intensity to our club program, make us a better team.
Although lacrosse season doesn't start until the spring, Lohman hopes to create a competitive preseason atmosphere.
We're out here once a week for fall ball. It's definitely a lot more laid back, but we want to see the same intensity and commitment.
As of right now, he's really picked up the intensity as far as the intensity in the last off season. He really has us working. We're doing a lot more work. There's a lot more guys out here, a lot more dedication, so I think he's really motivated the guys well.
As for what he's most excited for, the new coach is looking forward to seeing his team's work this fall transfer into the first spring matchup.
Definitely just to get into games and see where all the hard work goes towards.
Lohman definitely seems to be raising the intensity of the club program already. We will check back into the team's progress later this semester.
The TCU volleyball team took down Abilene Christian Wildcats in 4 sets on Tuesday night. Sophomore outside hitter Ashley Smith led the Frog offense with 17 kills, tying her career high. The Frogs moved to 7-4 on the season and continue to play at home this weekend as the team hosts the Moulton Invitational. The first match is set for Friday against Sam Houston State.
Coming up after the break, our Trog Keller takes a look at TCU's Frog Club.
We take a look at how Amrick Fields is getting ready for the spring basketball season.
And the women's soccer team hits a 4-game winning streak.
At TCU, we believe that for dreams to grow, they need a place to call home. TCU, learning to change the world. At TCU, we keep our class sizes small, so minds have room to expand. TCU, learning to change the world.
The men and women's swim teams will compete in their first meet of the season this week at the UNT Pentathlon. The meet will be in Denton on Friday at 4 p.m. Head coach Richard Simbesma said he has set the same individual and team goals for his athletes that he sets every season.
Set individual goals, and that's to be an individual or relay conference champion in the Big 12. We also set team goals, and that's to be in the top 3 in the Big 12.
TCU's cross-country team started their season strong. The women's and men's team placed 3rd and 4th at their season opener Saturday at UT Arlington. The women's team had 3 freshmen place in the top 11 in their 5,000-meter race. The men's team had 2 freshmen finish 3 seconds apart. Both finished in the top 20. The teams will compete next on Saturday, September 27th at the Ken Garland Invitational in Denton.
An organization on campus is helping TCU students secure away game tickets as well as put them on a list for season tickets when they graduate. Our reporter, Trog Keller, has the story.
Located in the guest services office in the east side of Ammon G. Carter Stadium are the offices for the TCU Frog Club. The Frog Club, which has served as a network for TCU alumni, opened its doors for current students in 2013. Michael Levy is an athletic development officer and heads up the Student Frog Club initiative.
Frog Club is $25. You get the same benefits as being a $100 Frog Club member. So you get that discount if you want to go to an away game, like an away football game, postseason event, any game outside of TCU. You get first priority over the student body, so you skip the lottery system.
Once involved in the club, students can gain points that will increase their status.
Every year, every $100 you donate is 1 point for the Frog Club. So the fee for the Frog Club goes towards that. So every year that a student is a part of the Student Frog Club, let's say they do it from their freshman through their senior year, they can accumulate 1 point to have towards season tickets in football, baseball, or basketball.
The Frog Club website can be accessed from gofrogs.com. All money donated goes to scholarship funding or high-impact projects. From Ammon G. Carter Stadium, I'm Trog Keller, TCU Sports Now.
Wow, only $25? I'm going to think about joining.
Definitely seems like a good thing for students who want to get away game tickets.
Yep.
The women's golf team will compete in the Golf Week Conference Challenge in Colorado starting Monday, and the tournament will last a total of 3 days. Last week, the women's team competed in its first tournament of the season at Texas A&M, finishing in 7th place. Senior Alexandra Bonetti had the highest score for TCU at 146, and she tied for 8th overall in the tournament. The TCU women's soccer team is proving to be a big force on the field. The team seen here playing Baylor is on a 4-game winning streak after their win over Sam Houston State on Sunday night. After a rough start, freshman Emma Heckerdorn scored 2 of the 3 goals in the second half. The victory puts the team at a 5-3 record for the season. The Frogs return home Friday night to play SMU at 7 p.m.
And the TCU men's basketball team will be starting their season with new faces and strong talent. One player in particular will lead the way. Taylor Williams has more.
The TCU basketball team hasn't won a conference title since 1987. But this season,
Fields gets a much-needed...
they have a secret weapon. He's 6'9", 220 pounds and ready to dominate. But Amric Fields is not new to the TCU basketball courts. The Oklahoma City native came to TCU in 2010 as a true freshman. But at the beginning of his junior season, he experienced a setback.
I tore my ACL, my MCL, and my meniscus. I also fractured a bone. Total, I've had 5 surgeries in the last year and a half.
Fields made a return for the 2013-2014 season, but was not fully recovered.
Last year, I was basically playing on one knee. Like, I didn't even practice. I would just play games. They would hold me out. But this year is a lot different.
Even with a shaky return, he still managed to average 13.1 points per game. But this season, he will be healthy and demanding attention.
Seeing him here lately, I mean, this is the most I've seen him smile in a while. He seems very happy, he seems very confident, and he seems very excited about his senior season.
Fields' talent for big plays and the ability to hit three-pointers makes him one of the more physically opposing forwards in the conference.
But without question, I mean, he's one of the most talented players we have. He's one of our best players. So the main thing with him is keeping him healthy and having him on the floor. But he can do so many things.
But Fields would rather focus on the chemistry and talent of the team rather than himself.
Just working hard and coming together, I think that we can achieve a lot. Like, there's really no limits. Individually, I can't say that I'm really worried about that. Like, I put the team first, so whatever we accomplish as a team is good enough for me.
Taylor Williams, TCU Sports Now.
The men's basketball team will start practicing for their 2014-2015 season in October.
The Lettermen's Association inducted a new class into the TCU Hall of Fame. After being inducted over the weekend, they attended a golf outing, and they were also recognized at the football game against Minnesota. The 2014 class is very diverse, including former swim, golf, football, soccer, and track athletes. The inductees were Walter Souza, Adam Rubinson, Nick Brown, Michelle Frater, L. Gibson, and R.D. Dotson.
And that's all we have for you today. To keep up with all TCU sports, visit TCU360.com. I'm Chloe Coleman.
And I'm Maddie Brown. See you next week.